Are you tired of those Medicare phone calls that seem to hit your phone 10, 15, sometimes 20 times a day? Well, look no further because I'm going to show you a simple two-step process on how to stop those calls. Before we dive in, I want to give a huge shout out to Amanda Bruton with Medicare Answers Now for coming up with this campaign a couple years ago and giving me permission to share it with you. The first step in stopping the phone calls is to make sure that your phone number is on the federal do not call list. This is a national registry that people who buy phone call list or telemarketing list have to check and honor and abide by. Once your number is on the national do not call list, your registry does not expire. However, if it's been 10 years since you've previously registered, it's probably a good idea to check and make sure you're on there, or just re-register just to be safe rather than sorry. There are two ways you could put your phone number on the do not call list. The first one is by going online and going to donotcall.gov. For this, you will need a phone number and a good active email. Please follow along with me as I go online and show you how to do this. So as you can see, I am on donotcall.gov. You want to click here on register your phone. If you want to check a previous registration, you could verify it here. I do not have a previous registration, so I'm going to click register here. Once you are here, you're going to type your phone number and the first one. So typing mine right now. And then I'm going to type in my email address. Then hit submit. You're going to make sure the contact information is correct. And then you are going to hit register. Then you're going to see this step 3 of 3 page. This is just basically telling you that once you have submitted, you have to go to your email address that you have submitted and click on the link that they have provided to verify. You must do so within 72 hours in order for the registration to be successful. But getting your phone number on the Do Not Call registry online is as simple as that. That took me, a minute? And most of that is because I was talking to you. If you do not have access to a good email and cannot register online, you could register your phone number by calling 1-888-382-1222. In that way, you can register over the phone. An important tip that I want to mention is you have to make sure you register every number. You have to register your number, your spouse's number. If you have a landline, any numbers associated that you do not want calls at, you have to register each and every one of them. Once you're on the do not call list, it is illegal for anyone to cold call you. And if they are caught doing so, it is a $10,000 fine. Which brings me to step 2. Even after you're on the federal do not call list, scammers may neglect this information altogether and still try to illegally prey on you. That's why this step is so crucial. Step 2 is file a complaint with the FCC against those people who are calling you. I know it sounds tedious, but the only way to fight this is to take action. I'm going to walk you through and show you how easy it is to file a complaint with the FCC. It is important to note that you are going to need 4 key pieces of information. Unfortunately, to gather this information, you're going to need to answer the phone when they call. You need to know the date and time that the call came in. You need the number that showed up on your caller ID. If it comes across as unknown number, you can open up the call log on your phone and it will be listed there. You need to know the name that came up on your caller ID or call log. Whether it was Medicare, whether it said Social Security, whether it said potential spam, or even listed a specific insurance company's name. And then the last thing, and this is why you have to answer the phone, is you need to know what they said when they picked up. Did they introduce themselves as Medicare? Did they introduce themselves as Social Security? Whatever that opening line is, you need to know what they introduced themselves as. After that, hang up. We don't care. We don't need to talk to them anymore. A big question is, what about spoofed numbers? For those of you who don't know, spoofed numbers are when somebody calling you generates another number that shows up on your caller ID. So they may be calling from India or another part of the country or anywhere else in the world, but it shows up as a local number. For example, we live in a 330 and a 440 area code. A lot of the scammers come up across as 330 because my number starts with 330. Those are spoofed numbers. Even if it's a spoofed number, write it down. The FCC has a specific division that actually works against spoofed numbers and traces them back to their original source. So even a number that is spoofed is traceable. But that being said, step 2 is as simple as gather that information and report it back. In order to file a complaint with the FCC, you must go to consumercomplaints.fcc.gov. And I'm going to take you there myself and show you what you need to do. So as you can see, I am on the complaint homepage. What you want to do is hit learn more right next to this giant box that says robocalls, unwanted calls, and text. Once you're on this page, you can file a complaint. You could do it if your specific number is being spoofed, if you're getting unwanted text, but what you're going to use more often than not is this unwanted calls section. So you hit start your complaint and it pulls up this whole page of information. So you're going to type in your email. Do you guys want a good laugh? I'm getting one right now, I think. Hello?
Hey, my name is Rosalind with the voice search now. Your business is eligible to display on Siri and Alexa. Are you the owner of the company by any chance?
So sure enough, I just got a call to my phone too about something completely different, but that's why I'm registering my number as well. Anyway, so once you're on the subject, you could put it as whatever you want, but simply I would just put illegal Medicare call. In the description, this is where you're going to use that 4 piece of information. You're going to put the time, the name, what number came up, and what they said when you answered. So I'm just going to type some jargon in here just to be able to go to the next page. And then you're on this phone issues section. You're going to put unwanted calls and text. On the sub issue, put all other. And then when it asks, did the call/message that you are reporting advertise any property, goods, or services? Medicare insurance is a service. So hit yes. And then when it asks for the type, scroll down and click on Medicare. And then it's going to ask you, have you or anyone else in your household done any business with the caller in the past 18 months immediately before receiving the call message? The answer is going to be no. Have you or anyone in the household made an inquiry or application to the caller? Again, no. Do you or anyone in the household have a personal relationship? Well, if they're not by you and they're calling from a different part of the country, no. Your phone method. This is where you're going to put it. Did they call your cell phone? Did they call a landline? Or do you use an internet service provider? More often than not, it is going to be your cell phone and on wireless. And then for your phone location type, residential if it's coming to your personal phone. Then you have to type in your phone number where it was received. And then after you put in the phone number and which the call was received, the next question asks, is that phone number on the do not call registry? And the answer is yes if you have done step 1. So we hit yes. You put down the date that they called, the time they called again, the type of call. Was it a pre-recorded person? Was it a live voice or was it a text? Most often it's going to be live voice. Have you given permission for them to call? Nope. Did you receive caller ID information? If you did, put in the caller ID number and name that popped up on your caller ID. Was the business name provided? If they say something like an insurance company, whether it's Humana, United Healthcare, Aetna, Anthem, you name any of them. First off, if they introduce themselves as that company, it still could be somebody that does not work for the company illegally trying to get your information. If they gave a company name, put yes, and then put the company name. And then provide the information to the advertiser and the phone number if those were given. Any additional info, your name and address, the city and state you live in, and then your phone number. And if you're filing on behalf of a relative, you answer yes and then put in your information. So I guess in the case where you're filing on behalf of a relative, this is where the said relative's information goes. And then this is where you as the filer goes. You attest that everything's down here the best of your knowledge. If you have things like screenshots or anything you could upload, you can attach them here at the bottom. And then you hit submit. It seems a lot more tedious than what it is, but it's definitely something that's necessary because you have to fight back or this problem is not going to get any better. Filing these complaints helps protect seniors, veterans, vulnerable people from getting scammed and getting screwed over on their health insurance. So the more that we could do as a society to fight back, the better it's going to be for the masses. That is the whole thought process behind all this. Unfortunately, we don't live in a world where just putting your number on the do not call registry is enough. There are some things to note though. There are certain scenarios where the calls are completely legal and legit. So I'm going to tell you how those become legit. First off, if you submit an online inquiry requesting information, that's permission to contact. That's legal for someone to call you at that point from that source. If you get a call that is truly from your actual plan or provider, that is legit. If you fill out a consent to contact form, if you go to a local seminar, or if you go to attend a webinar and you fill out a form, much like the online form or even a physical piece of paper that says, please call and give me information, now it's legal. So let's not let this issue go unchallenged. If everyone watching this plus more take 5 minutes to put their phone number on the do not call registry and file just one complaint, do more than one, but minimum one as you get them, we could really make an impact in the Medicare market in helping stop these illegal calls. If you have any questions, comments, concerns on this, I am here to answer any questions you may have. You could also send me an email at zachary@awileyinsurance.com. That's Alpha Wiley, Wiley, insurance.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and please share this video with your friends, your parents, your grandparents, your friends' grandparents, anyone you can think of, because together they could use this method to help protect themselves and help stop the madness. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.